Hi there, how's it going? This is Ash from Fetch Profits. If you are blogging for your business or if you are a blogger, there are chances that you would get to use images on your blog. Now, images tend to help break down your blog post and not make it a big wall of text. On the other hand, your images will also help you get found on image search. They'll help you give more clarity and more insight into the topic that you're writing the blog post on. And you'll also be able to ensure that your images will add a little bit of a visual appeal to your blog post. Now, images are all great, fun and dandy, but when you're uploading those images, there ought to be a few things that you got to keep in mind. In this video, we'll talk about 3 things that you got to keep in mind before you work with images on your blog post. Now, you will notice that I am working on a blog post here. You will notice that I'm also adding an image here. Now, before you take images from anywhere, please be sure you have the rights to do so. If you don't have the rights to do so, please do add a link that says image credit back to the source where you found the image from. That's a best practice. I hope you follow that. Now, when you take a screenshot, let's say I'm going to give you an example of a screenshot. This applies to illustrations, this applies to videos, this applies to any other graphics or other images or photographs that you might be using on your blog post. So let's assume that I take a screenshot of this particular thing from MailerLite site. And if you want to get a copy of MailerLite, you can go ahead and get a copy at fetchprofit.com/MailerLite. But if you want to go ahead and take a screenshot on Mac, you can click on Command Shift 4 and this particular little thing shows up, little like a crosshair, and you can select this area that you want the screenshot for it. So I'm just going to click out of this, but that's how you do it. And once you do that, you're going to get it here in your desktop. Now, what you're going to get that screenshot as is something like this that says screenshot and a random string of numbers which you don't want to use, nor do you want to upload the image with this particular file name. So the first thing you got to do is make sure that you change the file name to something that's a lot more contextual and easy for search engines to read. And in case the image does not load for some reason, people will still be able to see what that image was about. So click on rename and then change that particular image name to something that's a lot more contextual, something like this, and there you go. And the second step you got to do is ensure that you open any image that you just renamed and go to tools on the top navigation menu, click on adjust size and make sure that you change the width to something that's a lot more appropriate for your blog, something like 1200 pixels or 800 pixels and so on and so forth. I'm going to leave it at 1200 pixels. That's appropriate for my blog. I'm going to leave it at that. And once you upload that image to WordPress, in my case, I'm using WordPress. On the block setting, if you're using Gutenberg, you will have this alt text or alternative text that you got to add. So in this case, you will add something like, in this case, you will add an alternative text that makes sense for what that particular image is. This is great for getting found on Google image search as well. So you're going to leave it with a contextual name, and that's how you're going to save it and publish it. Now, you also have the option of making sure that this is 75% and not 100%. In this case, this is already a small screenshot, so I'm going to leave it at 100%, but you have the option of changing it to 75% as well. This only works when you're using Gutenberg with WordPress, whatever I'm showing you on the screen. And this is how you go about setting your images. So that apart from the best practice, such as to ensure that you give credit to the image source, download an image and rename it. Second, you change the width settings to something that's a lot more appropriate. And third, you upload it, but do add alt text or alternate text while uploading to your CMS. So these are the 3 tips that you got to remember when working with images. There are several advanced tips. You can go and take a look at fetchprofit.com/blog, get a lot more insights on how to optimize your images and to work with several other things that are appropriate to digital marketing. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. This is Ash from Fetch Profits signing out.